everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Too Opinionated.
This is Nav.
And this is Bhumika. And we are discussing tea again today.
Coffee. It was a little stronger,
It was too strong.
a lot strong.
Okay, for reference, we are reviewing part 2 of Bridgerton season 4.
Yeah, also,
So,
this is the first time we are discussing it to each other because we
yes,
haven't discussed we haven't shared our thoughts at all.
well, it just came out 2 days before.
I saw it on 26th. I binge watched everything on 26th, and it was really hard for me to just not talk about it for a day and a half, okay? It was one of the hardest things I did.
I did not have time. I watched it yesterday. Okay, so what did we think?
My first initial thought was I would have liked to see Kate more. She looks so ethereal. I would have just loved to see her more. Also, I liked how they made her dresses resemble saris. I love that part. And could you believe on TikTok some people are like, oh, you know what, this is like cultural appropriation. I'm like, no. I loved, as an Indian person, I loved her dresses have like little twist and
Yeah.
like saris.
I looked at it too and I was like, oh my God, they Indianized her outfits, like
Yeah,
Indianification of Kate Sharma. And
yeah,
I like it, which also makes sense considering the fact that she returned from India, right?
yeah, right.
Obviously, she shopped, our girl shopped.
And obviously, you know what, as someone who's in India right now and shopping for each and everything because we can get it everything custom here, obviously she shopped in India. What do you mean?
It also came very naturally on the show that yes, she's returning from India, she's an Indian. So they will have some flair of India to her outfits, right? And I really, really loved it because, especially when in the scene they were sitting in the. Oh, by the way, disclaimers, everyone. We will be giving spoilers if you haven't watched.
Yes, also this is very 18 plus episode, same as the show. If you're watching near kids or someone who's underage, please, we would recommend headphones or perhaps this thing at some other time. This will contain spoilers, adult stuff, so beware.
We have to get better at giving spoilers at the beginning and not in between. But
It would be in titles, it would be in titles and it would be like spoiler alert. They would understand.
moving on. So, when they're sitting in that drawing room scene and Kate comes, like, first time on the screen with the family, I looked at her outfit and I was like, oh my god, this is so pretty. But I agree with you. I would have loved to see Kate and Anthony more. And that adorable little boy, oh my god, so cute. I legit have baby fever and I was like, when can I get one?
Yeah.
And see, this is the reason season 2 seems the best because even when they keep making appearances, it never feels enough. Colin and Penelope, they are great, but Kate and Anthony are just Kate and Anthony.
I feel we like Kate and Anthony so much is because Kate is very opinionated.
Well,
So
so is Penelope, but okay.
okay, Penelope is so very in love and she doesn't challenge society. She challenged society as Lady Whistledown, left, right, and center. She carved out a place for herself. But Penelope, as now Bridgerton and previously Featherington, I don't think so. She challenged society as per Kate does. Kate challenges Anthony. She challenges pretty much every norm there probably is, right? Like she was ready, very willing to be just like, I am not marrying anyone. Like I'll live my life happily ever. Eloise does the same. Might I add that?
Yeah, I agree. I was thinking the reason we love Kate and Anthony so much is because of the scarcity of them after
I
season
guess.
2. They were the most like in demand couple out there.
But then also Daphne and the Duke, we don't miss them as much. I would like to see them more.
I don't miss them at all. Also, I don't know if there is any tea brewing in the production, but there is not even a mention of Daphne.
The actor who plays Duke, right? I think he doesn't want to return.
No, that I am aware of, but the character Daphne still exists. Like in the show, there is no mention. They don't have to show the characters. They could be like, oh, I got a letter from Daphne. She's doing well. There is no mention of the character anymore, which is like, are you guys fighting? Like, what's happening in the production? Why there is no recognition or acknowledgement of someone called Daphne?
Also, the character Daphne, the sister, she would not miss a funeral and a wedding.
Mhm.
Simple
right?
as that. Like she wouldn't. It does seem really weird. But then let's hope that we get to see the previous couples more. Because also we didn't get to see Penelope and Colin as much. We got to see them because they were involved in the story, as in like she was having her whole thing with the queen. We saw Colin giving advice a little. But I also feel as the shows progress, they kind of want to reduce the cast, right?
Yeah, I get it. But then again, I think we have to be mindful of the fact that after all, it is a TV production which they can swing in the way
Mm-hmm.
they want and then they can come up with reasonings. Also, the more cast they have, as you said, they need to afford that much cast as well. So it's very natural for them to take screen time away from people as the show grows as
You know
well.
what? Another thing that doesn't make sense to me is like Kate and Anthony seems to be living out of the house, like not in the Bridgerton house. And legally and traditionally, that is their place. And once Kate and Anthony are married, the mother-in-law is supposed to move out. Penelope and Colin are already living in the Featherington house because, well, their son holds the title. We don't see them living there is much more weirder because I love history and historically they should be staying in that house and rest of the people should be moving out. But anyway, let's move on from Canthony and talk about our real couple.
So you must be happy.
I am happy. Okay, you know what I'm most happy about? Like the dialogue. We got the dialogue. I loved the whole shebang he went on. Do you know what I'm talking about or not?
Yes, the one where he confessed and said, I love.
I was happy with that. I was super happy with that. That kind of hit the spot for the one. See again with Colin and Penelope, we didn't get got that, and that only like that always bugged me a little. But this one I was happy with. So you know.
Okay.
Okay, give what are your thoughts?
It wasn't as epic.
I
It
just
was,
feel like we are spoiled for stories, and now nothing seems as epic.
I think I'm biased to season 2, and it is pretty apparent by now.
Remove the season 2 for now and just let's talk about this couple.
I would still say the main confession dialogue could have been more intense, could have been better. It conveyed the message it needed to convey, so that's good. But there could have been more depth in there.
But I loved it. Like I genuinely loved it. I felt it healed the trauma of part one in me. I like how they were together. They were both trying to get away. At least she was trying to get away. Then she was just coming back right in. We have done that. I can relate. I liked how they were trying to make sense of like, okay, society is not gonna accept us, so maybe we might not go down this path. So she was genuinely contemplating their life, like if she would say yes to being his mistress. Because let's be very honest, she is a maid in that situation. She is lowest at the lowest class possible. So obviously being a mistress, she could be elevated a little. She wouldn't have to work as hard. She would be afforded some luxuries. I like to see that she actually contemplated because anyone would give it a thought
Mm-hmm.
because no one wants their life to be difficult. But then I also like the point where she's like, yes, my life would be easy, but then it wouldn't make me happy, so I don't want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I also like the part that Violet Bridgerton, mother, she finally like she was like, you know what, all it matters to me is that you love that person. And then they were like, okay, fine, we are all coming together and making this shit happen for you.
You know,
I loved that part.
you know what this reminded me of? It reminded me of Bollywood movies.
Yeah. हम साथ साथ हैं.
Because that's what's happened in Bollywood movies and TV, right? Like initially the family would be fighting, would be against, and suddenly in 5 minutes everyone would agree and be like, "Yes, hunky dory, let's get this done."
Okay,
Same
can we call it Bollywood because of Kate?
with this began.
Okay, Bridgerton is Bollywood.
Same thing happened in this one, right? Like for most part of season, part one and part two combined, everyone was against, knowingly, unknowingly, they were against. And then suddenly, in just one episode, everyone's together and all is done. So it felt very Bollywood to me.
I
But
also like the fact that Violet was also very realistic about if he wants to be together. She was like, I'll give you permission, but let's be you would have to be shunned by community. I'm not because of you, I'm not jeopardizing my other kids. I loved that part also. She was like, you can have your happy ending, but then understand that it's gonna come at a cost.
which brings me to the next point that Anthony Bridgerton made an appearance, but just to say stuff which seemed very logistic, but none of us liked. We were expecting him to.
I was expecting him to be in his corner, okay, give him shit. I
Yeah.
was, because that's what I was told that is in the books, but it apparently didn't happen. But then it's fine. I like that the mother took stand for her. That's what I liked more.
Mother was mothering throughout the season, okay? Because she was so on point on picking up the hints. She knew something is off with Sophie. And what I
Yeah.
liked is it was not in the way to figure out if Sophie is a threat to them, but she could tell that Sophie has more depth to her. And she was worried about her, she was concerned about her, she also wanted to find out about her. And when she did find out, I loved how she did not give a dramatic reaction. She was so realistic, but yet so helpful.
Mm.
If someone asks me who is your favorite character, I think I have an answer now. For now, it is the mother. Her role is top tier for me.
Yeah, no, I can totally see that. She is an awesome character. I also like the fact that Benedict Bridgerton, he was actually thinking about it. Like, we saw so many scenes which he's contemplating and thinking that what my life
Hmm.
would be. And I think that was necessary for all of us to see, because it was not a regular situation. Very honest, she was a maid. He is a nobleman. It's not convenient for either of them to be in this relationship,
Hmm.
and it had real life consequences for them, for their kids, and for their future generations, even for the everyone in Bridgerton families. It had real enough consequences that they had to get a okay from the queen, and they had to fake an entire story. And I hated the stepmother. I hated her character. She's such a good actress, because I hated her, genuinely hated her.
Before we jump on to her, I also want to point out that there were a few scenes where Benedict would question and would think about if I can even sustain this life, in a sense, how his previous lifestyle has been. And he would think if this is something that I can do long term, or this is just my current obsession and it's gonna wither away, which I liked and which I found
Mm-hmm.
very realistic, because
Mm-hmm.
even normal people like us, if we see the possibility of something becoming real, we do question things. Is this okay? Is this for me? Will I be able to handle it? What would my life look like? And we are not anywhere close to being rakes. So it made a lot of sense to me that someone like that was giving that part a thought as well, that will I be able to live this life, right? Because
Absolutely.
otherwise it would have been unrealistic that before you were someone who would not even come to your house regularly, and now you want to be chained down to someone. So that was good.
There was a moment where they are in the for the lack of any other words, when they're in the greenhouse, like they have the flowers and they're in a room and everything, and where
Mhm.
he's like, "Oh, I got a blanket." I'm like, "Shawl." That's a shawl. But I literally screamed. I was like, "That's a shawl," you know.
um,
So but yeah, no, I love that he was thinking it through, because realistically, it would have been like a different situation for both of them. Both of them were really thinking about it, and that's what kind of made it a real story for me.
mhm,
Because let's be honest, yes, I love a whirlwind romance. Everyone does, but acknowledging that your life would be different, it would be difficult, and you're getting into something and it's a long term decision, and you're thinking it through, and then getting into something is just much more romantic for me. I have to acknowledge one more thing. I did not see all the sex scenes, because again, I live at home now. I haven't seen them yet. Were they good?
they were too good. That even I was feeling embarrassed, though there was no one around me, and I was skipping some part of it. I was like,
Really? You had to skip it?
this is too much for me to handle. I
O-
can't, I can't, I
Okay, I'm
can't.
just gonna go and see them, like put headphone on and see them, possibly when Darcy is not in the room, because I feel weird watching it with her in the room.
So imagine I did not even have anyone around me, and I was like, oh my god. See, I made some notes to discuss, and I know audience cannot see it, but you can see it. Spicy enough. I have that on my notes because it was too much. Like I was skipping some parts of it. I was like, oh my god, I
Damn,
feel
I
like
gotta watch it. I
I
gotta
have
get to it.
it feels like I have sinned, and how. So to answer your question, they are too good.
Was it more spicier than the mirror scene in season 3?
let's move on. And I wanted to say that while I was watching the show, I was thinking that you must be really happy because you got your yearning, right?
No, I'm happy. Okay, realistically for me, this is definitely competing with season 2 being my favorite. It definitely is, and I'm not just saying it for the sake of saying it. I love this story much more than I love Kate and Anthony's story, because Kate and Anthony's stories, as much I love like enemies to lovers, I like yearning more, and I also like the dynamics they have. The only thing which I could pinpoint, which I did not like about the show with the story, everything, that the outfit Sophie wore when she went to meet the queen, it could have been better. I didn't like the outfit. It wasn't giving much. It wasn't as romantic or as like nice I would expect it to be. It was nice enough outfit, but not what she should be wearing to go meet the queen. So like that was a little disappointing for me.
They were playing it safe in a way that if things don't go their way, Sophie cannot be dressed in a sense that she catches everyone's attention. So she had to underplay it. And
As much as I get it, no,
see
just
how the
no.
see how the tables have turned. When we discussed part one, there were some parts where I was like, I get it, but no. And you were like, you have to get it. Same
No,
thing
I get that. I get that. But okay, they did it with Kate. They involved a lot of Indian elements. I
happened.
would have loved to see some Korean elements with Sophie. I would have loved for her to wear a hanbok, okay?
Yeah.
The costuming was a little disappointing for me, because for the majority of the show, Kate is wearing maid outfit, which obviously that's her job. Like we already got very few instances where she can dress up, and
Mhm.
when she was dressing up, it's not giving for me. I love fashion, I love outfits, I love sparkle, so it was not as sparkly for me. That is my personal thing. But then story wise, 5 stars.
Talking about Sophie, I was happy with part two because she got more screen time, she got more substance, she got more dialogues, and I was happy to see that. Like when she conveyed to Benedict what is bothering her and why is she not okay with the things that he's proposing. And I liked it because she was conveying what was on her head. And then as an audience, I could just listen to it instead of having to do the work of decoding her mind. So I really liked that fact. You know, when she talked to Benedict about her father, it broke my heart because it was so sad. Her entire adult life, that poor girl has believed that her father did not love her, and whatever love he showed when he was alive was not true. That is such a heavy thing to live with. And she still turned out to be such a great human being, right? But imagine the sadness she was carrying inside her. And on top of that, when she realized that her father did love her and it was her stepmom that was lying to her. So that whole realization of that, oh my god, I have been living with the thought of my father not loving me for so many years when he did in fact love me. And when she finds out the will and she goes and hugs Benedict and she tells him that my father did love me. I was top notch.
I also like, it broke my heart when she said, I just trusted her.
Yes.
It was like, she's so naive,
Hmm.
she's so sweet that she didn't even think that she could be cheated out of, something like that.
And that was very well played by the actress who played Sophie because her face expressions conveyed very clearly that.
Loved top notch acting, definitely. Okay, moving on. Was there a moment which you were like, it's cringy?
Huh. No, I didn't feel that anyway, did you?
What felt cringy for me was when they looked at the will, right? She didn't
Mhm.
take it with her.
Oh, cringy in that sense.
I'm sitting there and cringing so hard. Girl, you might just need that someday. Just take it. I get she's looking at it and then it would be stealing,
Yeah.
right? I get that. But it's like my pet peeve. When in some movies they're killing the bad guy, but they don't make sure bad guy is dead. It's like that. Like, why would you not add someone who likes to check their work double and triple time just to make sure it's done correctly? It was like, why wouldn't you just take it?
I just assumed she took it, but they didn't show it to us. That's what I assumed.
No, she didn't take it. She didn't take it. She was sitting there and was like, why would you not take it, girl? Take it.
I know, but I'm saying for my peace of mind, I assumed she took it.
Yeah. Oh, well, that.
Okay, now that we have talked about our main couple,
Hmm.
and I think you got your happy ending in a way, and I am just okay with it. Like
And they
I
got their happy endings.
multiple times. Moving on. What about side characters? I think you were right for the mother, as you said that this is not going to last for her. I was very happy when they initially were deciding to get married because the romantic in me was, oh, very nice, good, amazing. But I also loved when she chose herself because now is her time, right? She has her life being a wife, being a mother, being a viscountess. Now is the time when she can be her. And last time we talked about that she and Lady Danbury can go on a trip together.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like I'm gonna assume they went together. Like I don't need to see it in the show.
Yeah, I do. I love that for her because I would have been happy even if she picked the man because why not? They were having good sex. So, girl, I get it. But I loved it that she didn't because now she's like, I want to take this time for myself. That is something more. She's coming into herself. She got married at a very young age. She had babies at a young age. And then she was a widow at a very young age. So she never got to a point where she was just living her life on her own terms. And I love it for her. And I always love when my predictions come true. So, yeah, me.
Well, your predictions are also true about Whistledown.
Yeah, because see again, I think I have seen so many shows now I can just predict where the story might go.
Mhm.
Okay, on the question of Whistledown, who do you think is the new Whistledown?
I have no idea, but I have
I
actually
have one idea, and I haven't been seeing it on the internet.
actually I should not say I have no idea because I do. It is either Eloise or it is a new Lady Penwood who has that pink drawing room.
I think I'm gonna be right in this again. No one on the internet is talking about it, and I am the one who's talking and put it down because I know who it is.
Okay, who is it?
When there was a scene in the show when Lady Whistledown write about someone having a mistress, and the mistress came confronting
Mm-hmm.
uh Penelope, and she was like, I was this close to making money so I can just have my life. It's her.
Hmm.
She's the Whistledown. She's gonna be the Whistledown
How do you know?
because there was a glint in, like, it was glint in Penelope's eye, which was like, oh, I have an idea. She
Mhm.
felt remorseful. We already saw how Penelope was struggling because of Lady Whistledown in the society. That scene was totally unnecessary for us to think she's facing the consequences. So that scene was setting a character up. She is gonna be the Whistledown, or it could be Penelope and her together are Whistledown. Maybe Penelope is doing the writing, but she's the one who's going in, and because she's already shunned from the society, no one's gonna pay attention to her. It would be very easy for her to collect gossip,
Mhm.
and Penelope already declared that she's not the one, so the heat from her is gone. So they together could be running a business, but that lady is definitely coming back and playing a bigger role in future seasons.
I am convinced by your explanation, so let's see if you are right or not. We have to wait for another 2 years to find that out.
Not 2 years, they're already filming, so this is probably next year.
Aren't usually 2 years between?
They are filming already, and that brings me to the question, who do you think is the next season? There are many hints that say it might be Eloise.
It very well could be,
So,
especially
what's
how
your
her
pick?
character is growing. But in my head, this is how I assumed the seasons went, like from sibling to sibling. So in that case, shouldn't it be Francesca next?
I have a theory for this also, which I think is gonna be right.
Okay, go ahead.
I think it's gonna be a very fast paced season because there are so many siblings, four siblings still left.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We have Mother, we have Lady Danbury, so there's a lot of things going in the show, and people are not gonna wait for another 8 years for story to conclude. We already know it's renewed for two more seasons, so I feel like it. Eloise and Francesca both are gonna be in the same season. I do feel like that's happening. Also, we know people are homophobic. We know that, and the showrunners have lots of heat because of Michael being McKellar. So
Mhm.
if they combine it with a straight couple, it would not cost them as much viewership,
I would have
right?
loved to seen a full blown
Lesbian
Francesca.
romance.
Yeah,
Oh my god,
I would
yes.
have loved to see that.
I know, but I do feel in the next season they would have Francesca and Eloise both story running on the sideways. We would also have things setting up for the other siblings because we saw those kids a lot in this season.
Mm.
So next two seasons gonna be two siblings in one
Okay.
season.
That seems like a plausibility because I was thinking that four siblings, 4 seasons, and the previous pattern has been 2 years apart. That seems like a very big commitment for actors, and also actors will age also, right? They don't want to show that in the show. In the storyline, everything is not taking that long to happen, right? They also can't afford their actors to not look the same as much. So from that perspective as well, it would make sense if they start combining the stories. And the first 4 seasons, some characters which were prominent, so it made sense to give them a full season. Except Eloise and Francesca, whoever we are remaining with, they are more of a side character. And yes, they will become main for sure, but I don't see them having strong enough pull to pull off a whole season as the main character. It would make sense if they just all come together and give the
Mm-mm.
good
I
ending.
think that's definitely gonna happen. Also, in the books, and again, a very big spoiler. So, Hyacinth was supposed to marry Lady Danbury's grandson. So we don't have them on the show, and I don't think so. They're just gonna like whip them out. Setting her with little Lord Kent seems kind of appropriate.
I also saw this theory floating on internet that the new lady in waiting is actually Lady Danbury's daughter, and that's why she is pushing her so much to do better in the society.
I think Lady Danbury is like girls, and she's like, I just want my people to rise.
Yes, but I'm just saying there's this theory floating around. So then in that sense, yeah, he is technically
Yeah,
correct.
technically the grandson. Talking about the new lady in waiting, I absolutely love her.
Oh yes.
I loved her when she said, I am not taking crap from you, Lady Danbury. And I love it when she went, I am not taking crap from the queen either. Love her, absolutely love her. I think Lady Danbury's shoes were very hard to fill,
Hmm.
but I think she's doing a very good job at it. And also speaking about Lady Danbury, I'm so glad that she's going on her vacation, but I'm super glad that they also announced that she's gonna be back.
Did they?
Yeah,
Okay,
they made an official announcement that Lady Danbury will be in the future season, so it's not like she's going away for the good because I couldn't. And also speaking about Queen and Lady Danbury, I cried.
I knew you would have cried. Even I cried. First of all, the first scene where Queen says Lady Danbury and the silence between them and the talking that they do with their eyes.
Hmm.
Oh my god, chef's kiss.
Yeah.
But also when she threw the ball for Lady Danbury's goodbye, and they're both sitting and talking, and Queen finally says, I'm gonna miss you, and they both cry. I'm like,
I know.
oh
I
my
cried.
god.
Like I could cry right now. Oh my god, that was so cute. Also speaking about the balls, Lady Penwood, Cressida, right? I don't know, I loved it or I hated it, but I definitely enjoyed how everyone showed her down basically because in Penelope's season she was a menace. So I liked how Queen said she'll show up. She didn't. It was a little mean, but I kind of liked it. I loved how Penelope got her revenge. Okay, and now that that's done, I can start liking Cressida if she ever comes back again. Because in my mind, it's like, okay, fine, it's done. You did her bad. She did you bad. It's balanced now. We good.
But even though they did each other bad, I liked the scene where when Queen didn't show up and everyone was like, "Oh my God, this is going to be new gossip," and at the same time, the last publication came out from Lady Whistledown saying, "I am resting my pen," and that scene, Cressida says, "Perhaps it's for the good that she's not writing anymore," and there is a eye to eye connection with Penelope and Cressida, right? Because they did show up at our ball, or am I imagining it?
No, no, no. They were there.
And they looked at each other, and that was very cute moment for me.
That was, but that there's gonna be gossip anyway. I know that Lady Whistledown spearheaded the gossip, but there will be gossip
No,
anyway.
that I 100% get, but I mean just that moment between Cressida and Penelope were really nice moment in my head.
Mm.
And
Yeah,
like
that's why I said like now we friends with Cressida too because it's water under the bridge. Now we like her if she comes back, but and I would also like to see her living her happy ending definitely.
only if they can afford to have so many characters together, but sure. Because also for every new character they bring, they have to bring a new set, they have to bring new production. So much goes on for just that 1 minute scene that we see on the
Yeah.
screen.
So talking about Cressida, a person who loves pink, that was a little too much pink.
Yes, I agree. How did you feel about the finale?
I loved the wedding. I loved that we can see kitchen stuff, their house stuff.
Mhm.
People who Sophie worked with were there. I loved that. I loved that he was wearing little kite. I loved the wedding. It was intimate and it was realistic. They couldn't have a huge freaking wedding. We know that. Like, yes, they made up a fake story, but it was a fake story after all.
Mm-hmm.
I also loved that she had Posey, the nicer sister,
Mm-hmm.
there. I loved that for them. We missed Daphne there, but for me, it was like a sweet little ending to the show. There was a moment when they got engaged very publicly, first of all. But then the credits started rolling. For a second, I was like, what? I want a wedding. Like, I
I
wish they
thought
would have showed a wedding. And then I was like, no, I don't believe this. And then I just like forwarded. And then, yeah, there was a wedding scene. So I did like that.
you know what happened with
Um,
sorry to cut you off, but what happened with me was I also thought, this is it? Is this really it? Is there not going to be any wedding? And the credits started rolling, and I was about to like shut down. And then I saw 7 minutes of credit remaining. That doesn't seem right. So I
right?
skipped. I was like, oh my god, there's a wedding.
Yeah, and I saw it online. Like some people didn't knew there was a wedding. They were like, "Why? I would have loved to see a wedding." I'm like, "There is wedding. Just skip a little." I refused to believe. I didn't even see 7 minutes remaining. I was like, "What do you mean? There's not a wedding? I don't believe this."
Okay, I know we loved the wedding. I loved the wedding too. But how did you feel about everything that happened before that? Okay, this is what I'm trying to ask you. We saw this season in two parts with
Hmm.
8 episodes, each being almost an hour long, and everything was reasonably stretched, I would say. Like
Hmm.
everything had to happen the way it happened.
I mean, I didn't feel bored at some points. I wouldn't say like it was something
Stretched
that was very prolonged.
stretched in the sense it was given its due time.
Hmm.
But the finale felt a bit rushed to me. Like suddenly
Hmm.
everything was okay. I know it's a TV show.
The girl went to the jail. What else do you want from her? I also feel like it's fine if it's rushed. She was in trenches, okay? She was going through it. The sooner it's done, the better. Sooner we can have her in nobility.
That's not what I mean. What I mean is, for example, when they planned the whole thing and then they went to the ball and then the queen thing happened, it just all was too easy at this point, which I know you are saying that they have already been through a lot, so it had to be easy. But being easy and being rushed is different. It
Hmm.
felt rushed to me. It was like, oh, we are running out of time and we just gotta make do. Everything made sense, but it also felt very rushed. For example, if I have to go back, they could reduce the cottage scenes a bit, or not reduce, but
No, no. I mean, that's where they fell
fell
in
in
love.
love. I know, but if they are at 1x speed, put them to 1.1x speed. If that makes the finale not feel as I am okay to make them.
Where do you felt that it was rushed?
Everything just happened too suddenly, too quickly. We were waiting for this from episodes, and suddenly it felt, oh, is it done? Is that it?
I think this is just in nature of waiting for other shoe to drop. Sometimes there is no other shoe to drop, okay?
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. No drama, no tantrums. It's just done.
Yeah, sometimes things just worked out in your favor. Okay, in the finale, I think I loved one of the parts when she was like, by birth and by education, I am a daughter of Penwood House. I'm just like, we finally got to acknowledge that she belongs to nobility in some sort of way. I love that for her.
No, for Sophie, they did justice to her. I have no complaints at all
No,
against.
I have her outfits.
That's your complaint, not mine. I also love the actress actually. She
Hmm.
did like a really good job, and she's so
Yeah,
pretty. Like
she's
she
so
seems
pretty.
so pristine and pure and delicate. Like
I know you don't use TikTok as much, and since the season came out, they've been dropping the TikToks they recorded 2 years ago, and they're doing the trends which were famous 2 years ago, and they caption, "Oh, we did it when this was trending." It's so fun.
I know I really like the actress. She's
Mm-hmm.
very pretty. Like I can keep looking at her. And I know you did not like her dress in the finale, but if we not look at the dress and just look at the face, like that bold color lipstick and everything, oh my god, like
Yeah, yeah, no, she's extremely
work
pretty,
of art.
obviously. Yeah, I wish someone would call me work of art. Oh my god. That's like my lifelong dream.
I have given her that compliment multiple times in history of our friendship, but she would just not take me seriously. So it's not about if someone would give her compliment, it's about someone she finds hot, sexy, and fuckable gives that compliment.
Not that you don't count. Obviously, you do.
You have no comeback for this, okay? There's no comeback.
I mean, like, I have given that compliment to myself a lot too.
See, you don't count yourself, you don't count me because you want someone else to give.
Okay, yeah, I want someone.
Okay, I guess as agitated and as passionate we were about part one, we both got okay with part two in our own ways. Um,
Did I not say in Mother Shonda we trust? Did I not say that?
oh, I have my complaints still intact. Like, I would still have loved to see things differently, but I just made my peace with it. I can't lose my sleep over a fiction show, right? Can I now? So,
I mean, like, there are worse things to do.
all right. So, with all the assumptions who Whistle Down would be, what happens in next seasons, is there anything else you want to add? Our expert theorist, is that a word? Can I call you that?
Maybe. I would love to see how the future seasons unfold. Love both the actresses, love the story. Would love to see what you guys who are listening at home or driving or wherever think.
Yes, please share your thoughts with us. And with that, signing off. Until next time, see you.
Yeah. Bye.